So, good evening, ma'am. Um, the road not taken by Robert Frost speaks a lot of volumes in terms of decision making. In life, life is just unfair sometimes, or often, that life doesn't really give second chances to everything that we make or everything that we do. And Robert Frost's poem is that it is somehow a celebration or an event or something like that, that the individual is having a dilemma whether he will choose this path or the other one. So if we take a closer look, it reveals that something is more complex, not just decision making. If we give meaning to every parang line ng stanza or the poem, is that there is really a deep meaning in between the lines. The author stands, or the individual stands in a yellow wood faced with a fork in the road, and he has to make a decision, but both paths look really about the same. So parang magkapareho lang sila. And then despite of this, he chooses one and imagines that someday in the future, he'll look back and claim that taking the less traveled road made all the difference. So based on my first paragraph here in the what I've written for the interpretation is that the individual was in a dilemma whether he will choose this path or not, and parang meron siyang pagsisisi based on my understanding na sana kinuha na lang yung isang road, or sana doon na lang siya dumating and whatsoever, pero he chose this one. And this poem plays with the idea of choice and how we give meaning to our decisions after we make them, such as in our lives. For example, is that I became the SSG president, and parang along the way, I tend to somehow give some thoughts na mag-give up, mag-resign or whatsoever, but along the way then, there is this thoughts that are crawling at the back of my mind na I should keep going. Panindigan ko yung decision ko na maging SSG president or be the SSG president. The speaker or the author wants to believe that his path was unique, and he admits earlier that the both roads were just as fair. So upon tawag nito, along the way of his journey is that he realizes na pareho lang man pala yung path na kinuha niya. It's just that naging lang siya, parang pessimist sa una, na nag-think siya na sana ganito na lang yung kinuha ko, hindi yung ito, hindi yung current or hindi yung present. Because in the poem, it suggests that the choices we make in life may not be as drastically different as we think, but we still find ways to justify them or give them significance. There are really circumstances in our lives that if we made a wrong decision, parang binibigyan natin ng deeper meaning, significance, or other meaning na okay lang ito, ganito, ganyan. But despite of that, it's just not. There are also circumstances that we made the correct decision, pero parang hindi natin na-absorb na enough na yung decision na yun, na dapat yun na yung kinuha natin. And to summarize naman, for the interpretation of mine is that Robert is just talking about walk in the woods, but as some sort of a reflection of an individual making a decision or choosing a decision between the two. And it is all about decision making, regret, and somehow, for me, acceptance that all stories or all decisions that we tell to ourselves about our lives is just as important as making a decision. It is not necessarily a motivational piece, which is the poem, but rather it is a quite thoughtful poem about how we make peace with our choices. It is about how we accept the decision that we took, that the path that we somehow walk, na every decision is as important as the decision that we didn't take, na walang pagsisiyan sa huli kasi yan yung concept natin is sa huli yung pagsisisi, but we should avoid that mindset kasi choosing a decision is very hard, and somehow may mga times din na hindi tayo nagiging systematic to the point na nagiging irrational tayo na makadecide na lang is ganito ganyan. But despite of that scenario, circumstances, we should accept the decision that we took kasi there is a purpose bakit kinuha natin yon, bakit pinili natin yon. May purpose talaga bakit at the end yun yung decision natin. And we should learn how to respect, learn how to accept, and we shouldn't gaslight ourselves na hindi na okay lang ito, ganito ganyan, or try to manipulate ourselves na no, hindi ito okay, ganito ganyan. We should learn how to accept the things that we have, the decisions that we make, and the directions or the path that we took. Yun po. Good evening, ma'am, and thank you.